doing it. We are officially back again. We've done 2, which means we're doing more.
What's funny is every time the episode starts, your voice from the first moment till the end changes so much. Because you start radio every time, you're like, I'm gonna try to keep this up the whole episode,
and then it just reverts,
and it just becomes like, yeah, not that.
Okay, well, with that note, welcome to No Rewrites Podcast, Season 3.
Yeah.
Today we have a very special guest.
We do.
And his name is Brandon Craggs.
Thank you very much.
He just told us it's Craggs. Like literally just told
I was saying it works. It works.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work.
Craggs.
Take two.
Welcome to No Rewrites Podcast. Today we have a very special guest, Brandon Craggs.
There it is. Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Brandon Craggs, actor, improviser, writer, all-around good human,
Editor.
father, editor, colorist, just a jack of all trades in a good way.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Master of
That's
all
the way to
of
do it,
them.
man. That's the way to do it.
Yeah. Just got the hands in a little bit of in everything.
You know,
If you had to pick one thing out of all that, what is it?
Actor.
Nice. Okay,
Yeah, comedian. I don't know. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just I love performing.
Performer.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Well, why don't we just start with the requisite? Like, what was your history with performing? What got you into acting? How did you?
This is now an interview
Going
podcast.
back. Yeah. No, I like this. So I got into performing kind of by mistake, actually. We had at my school when I grew up in elementary school, at my elementary school when I was growing up, we had, it was like a talent show type thing. And the teacher had a couple of kids kind of come up and it was like lip syncing to a Backstreet Boys song. And the whole thing was like, I want it that way. And I was like, I'll try it. I was like never even on the teacher's mind to do this. And I was like, I'll try it out.
This is a talent show. What grade, sorry?
I was like grade 4 or 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
9 or 10 years old.
9 or 10 years old. Yeah. And so I was like, I would like to try it out. And she's like, okay, yeah, go ahead. And I just became a ham, like just really like got into the emotion. And she's like, okay, great. Yeah, you got it. And did it. And then it was like a 2-night show, and parents came back the next night and they're like, hey, like we came back, you did such a good job. Like, and it was kind of like, oh, whoa, okay,
And
cool.
it went straight to your head.
It went straight to
You're
my
like,
head.
I am the shit. I am the
Yes.
coolest 10-year-old
Yeah.
of the whole time.
Yeah, it was like that first like confidence of like, dude, I can do something. Like it was a very cool moment. So there was like a local theater company. So then after that performance, I was like, hey, maybe my parents were like, maybe you should try doing theater. You might like it. And I was
And then
like,
you kept going to lip syncing Backstreet
Yeah.
Boys.
yeah. I was like, wait, I have to sing now. And then I did the audition for the theater company in Oshawa, and agent hit me up and was like, hey, we really like your husky, handsome look. We're looking for.
You were 10 years old?
I was 10 years old. Yeah. And
Great.
then just started booking stuff right away, which was
Amazing.
That's great.
dude.
That's
Yeah.
great.
That's pretty cool. And you-
It's cool to be affirmed at such an early age of that, because a lot of people don't discover their sort of talent for it.
It's
till quite
crazy
later
how
in life.
long, how far that validation at that age, like you kind of need it. Like how far it goes, because like do you remember the first time, like when you're a kid, like even you like not knowing you could do it, right? But then you did it, and then someone was like, oh, and you in your head would probably like, this is I'm doing a good job, or I'm having fun at least.
Yeah.
But you're like, this is just for me. And then when someone validates you by being like, that's funny.
Yeah.
Or, oh, dude, wait, that's like, how'd you do that? Or like, they just kind of give you some kind of interest, and you're like, oh, so I'm not crazy. It is funny, right? It is entertaining.
I am husky.
handsome.
Oh, yeah,
husky,
handsome
first.
handsome.
Yeah.
Handsome first.
Yeah.
But because like, would you say that
was-
was your first moment where someone, like, was your family very much like you're like, like they saw you as an entertainer in the house, or?
Oh, for sure. And
Yeah.
let me turn off the audio here. Yeah, I would I would put on a coconut bra and like hula skirt and start dancing and stuff in front of
This
my
is at
family.
20.
Dude, yeah, this
Yeah.
was yesterday.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah.
But yeah, when I was a kid, I would like reenact Ace Ventura when he got shot by the arrows. Like
Yeah.
I was all over
Nice.
for like performing for the family. And yeah, when I started doing it in front of people, it was like, oh, I love this feeling. Like that was the high that I
Yeah.
was really looking for.
Man, it's a drug, dude. When you can
It is
people
that
laugh.
that flow state when you like step, like the moment before stepping on stage and the moment that you do step on stage, there's something that like kind of flips, and you don't necessarily black out, but you become something else.
Yeah.
And it's really cool that you got to discover that early
I feel
on.
like sometimes it's almost like, oh, this is who I am.
Mm.
Like I feel like everyday life, I'm like so in my head with stuff, but when I just get on stage and I let go, I'm like, okay, like I can just be a ham. I can just be whoever this character is.
Yeah.
Not to
I
get
feel
too
the same.
like psychological on it, but I do feel like that thing exists within all of us, but like in the everyday life, you are guarded by these social mores and like, I don't want to be annoying or whatever. But there's something about the stage. It's like handing you the keys to a really fancy car that you're really good at driving. And the stage kind of like gets rid of all those social sort of veils and
It's, I don't know if this taps into it, but today I woke up like, so do you guys ever go through this? So say you have your thing, right? Like we all have our thing, and we need projects to kind of show those like talents and gifts off, right? In between projects though, like if I'm not working on something,
dude,
I am so like the worst version of myself, like in every way. Like I get, like my patience is the first thing I've noticed recently. I've been kind of tracking myself because I've this that's the career I'm in where it's like really, really, really busy. And then there's some downtime, really, really, really busy, and then downtime, and then it's like really, really, really long downtime, and then busy. You know what I mean? Like it's that. So, and
very manic.
Yeah, and I've noticed that obviously, like at first I was like, I just love working, that's why I'm feeling down. But just in general, like I get like my patience is the first thing that goes. So I'm just like irritated by everything when I'm like not busy because I'm just like, I guess not like you said, being myself because like you need a project, or you need like a stage to be yourself. You know, so it gets exhausting, and then I'm trying to figure out that balance of like how to be yourself while in between projects. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah. Huge.
Yeah. Which I mean, you had a kid what, like 2 years ago now? It's been.
Yeah. It's gonna be. He's gonna be 2.
That's crazy. It's
May
crazy that I
30th,
knew you
yeah.
when we were in the same improv team.
Yeah.
When you had the
Yeah.
But it's like I feel like that's one way to have perspective where it's like it's not all about just like. I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, but does that help you feel?
It has, and
Yeah.
I was gonna bring this up too, but yeah, it's given me a sense of like it's not all about me, and I was nervous about having a child because my goals and my dreams, I was very selfish in my thinking. Where I love my wife, and loved my girlfriend when she was my girlfriend. You know what I mean? But I was like, my goals and my dreams were very much at the forefront of my mind. And now it's given me a sense of like, that's not everything. And that doesn't have to be everything. Like if I just continued to do my 9 to 5 or whatever, and I can really still have a lot of importance in this world. Like it doesn't just have to, like my whole thing is if I don't make it, what am I going to do with my life? But it is like,
and then usually you can then stress
importance.
yourself and then you don't make it because you're just everything you're doing has that energy of like paranoia or
I have an
anxiety.
audition. I have to
Desperation,
get this.
Yeah,
Like,
desperation.
Desperation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, well,
quick story
very
time.
bummy episodes.
Well,
Thanks,
I
Brandon.
can massage that into a funny story that offers insight. But my friend Ashil, when she was pregnant with her first child, Ollie, she told me she had a dream. Like she was still pregnant, didn't know the gender or anything. And she had this dream where she was holding a baby boy, freshly born, covered in like amniotic fluids and shit. And she's just standing there holding this guy. And the kid looks at her and goes, "I'm cold." And she said in that moment, she was just filled with this insane feeling of relief that finally she cares more about something in life that's not herself.
Yeah.
Which is very fucked up. So maybe we should adopt a child just to you and I.
Me, of course. Yeah.
This is our de facto child, I guess.
Are you asking in front of him so that I have to say yes now? It's like on the podcast. Like,
yeah,
all
it's
right,
problematic if you say no.
I say yes as a bit, and this bit becomes our life, though. Like we have a kid now. Yeah. All right, sure. Let's do it, man. What would we name it? First draft.
Yeah, just call him Nolan.
Nolan, love that.
Okay.
And you guys share a love for Christopher Nolan? Is that why?
I mean, I appreciate it, but I just
mentioned Inception too many times the first few episodes.
So it's become a bit.
Yeah.
It's become a bit.
Oh yeah, because you're a part of isn't it, like don't you guys have
You
an
have
improv?
an improv
We
format.
do,
the
yeah.
Nolan.
Format, yeah.
We're performing on Friday. I don't know when the episode comes out. This might not.
This comes out.
Maybe
in 2
you
weeks.
were at that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we basically take. It's like Hans Zimmer. Hans Zimmerman.
Zimmer?
His
Hans
music.
Zimmer.
Hans Zimmer. So we take his music and he kind of like they'll play it at random times in the scenes, and that kind of like
builds
the
nice.
tension or
Very
whatever.
cool.
Yeah. But it's great. It's great. Yeah.
No, I want to see it. I haven't seen that yet. It's interesting.
It'll be yeah.
Where are you doing it?
We are doing it at the Blockbuster week.
Oh yeah,
cool.
that's
Bad
right.
Dog.
Shout out to Bad Dog.
Jeez, it's that time of year again already. Wow.
Yeah, it's a great cast. It's a lot of fun.
That whole
we've
week
been
is
doing it for a while.
It
Very
goes
cool.
pretty crazy. Yeah.
Okay, great. Shall we make a movie?
Shall we make a movie? Oh wait, we gotta go to
Or
the
a
prompt
script.
section. Or the script.
We're gonna go to the next script.
All right.
The prompt.
No, we just skipped. I was just gonna say we skipped that. Like, I usually like asking what you're watching these days, like people. And we didn't do that in the intro, so I just want to see what are you watching these days, Brandon?
These days, I think everyone's watching White Lotus and Severance are the big things.
You watched the finale,
But of Severance,
Yeah.
not yet.
Oh,
So
buddy.
I'm on season 2, episode 1.
You're
Oh,
fucked, dude. You gotta stay off Instagram.
Yeah, yeah.
I watched it one day late, and I already saw one frame from the show that I'm like, fuck, man.
yeah.
Like people just
The stuff that they put
you
out
gotta post that. They
immediately.
want to, and I get it. They want to get traction, but like, chill out for a second, man.
Yeah.
Give it a week.
Dude, my wife and I, we went and had lunch yesterday, and the waitress was like, "Oh, have you guys been watching White Lotus?" And we're like, "Yeah." She's like, "Have you seen the latest episode?" And we're like, "No, not yet. We watched it last night, but this was at lunchtime. Hadn't seen it." And she gave it away, like total started spoiling. And we're like, "No, we just said we haven't watched it." And she's like,
Dude, that's
"Oh,
criminal.
what
That's
happens with the
criminal.
brother?" This, and it was like, "What?"
Bro,
I would lose my
don't
shit.
do that.
I was kind of like,
Spit in my food, but don't
Yeah.
spoil my fucking
Yeah.
plot. Right?
No, for sure. I was kind
No.
of like, that was such a wild move. But yeah,
I don't like that.
I'm not loving this season of White Lotus, but I'm not hating it. I would be bummed if someone ruined it for me. That's for sure.
I do any kind of. I don't like if people just okay. This is a really, I don't know, pretentious. But even if like you're like, oh, did you watch that new episode? And I'm like, no. And you're like, oh man, it gets tricky. I hate that even.
Yeah.
Like, don't even
yeah,
give
yeah.
me your emotions about
Yeah.
the fucking episode. Like,
Oh, so
I'll
then
start thinking about it.
Season 3's okay. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, the thing with White Lotus is that like that show I'm like not into. Like I've seen season 1, thought it was all right. I never watched season 2, but now that everyone's talking about it, I'm like maybe I should go back and watch it. Like
They're
season 2 and 3.
fine. They're fine.
That's
They're-
the thing. It's not a show that really like. I get the
One-
everyone loves the lore of it, or the it's like a cool anthology.
COVID movie,
Yeah.
like the first season or
Yeah.
COVID show, like the first they did really cool.
It's a really
thing
cool
with that
concept, and I
first
like
season.
Mike White.
Yeah, he's great.
But it's just not a show that like I was like I need. There's so many shows. That's the thing too. Like I gotta watch Fargo before I watch like season 4 before I watch that.
Yeah.
I gotta watch Penguin before I watch that. I gotta watch
Oh.
Started
Started Penguin.
Yeah, I watched the first 2. I was gonna stop, but now people are telling me that because I'm like, oh, it's just another superhero world show. But apparently, like the arc of the season and how it ends. You seen it?
Like 2 episodes.
Yeah, so
I
I've
didn't hate it either. I just like again show fatigue, like
Yeah.
just too much shit.
Yeah, but apparently it's like one of those shows that if you stay with it, it's like it pays the fuck off.
Mm.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, all right,
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
Also been watching Servant on Apple.
I haven't seen that.
TV.
No, I haven't seen that.
M. Night
either.
Shyamalan?
M. Night.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also the DP who did Nosferatu. And that's what got me
Ooh.
into the show. Because I
Mm.
was like, oh, Nosferatu looks great.
Fucking gorgeous.
And
yeah.
then saw this show and it was like, whoa, the writing is
Really?
really well done. Yeah.
Is that the
Yeah.
one with Rupert Grint?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
With
curious.
an
what his-
American accent. He does.
Whoa,
yeah,
and
yeah.
and
he does it. He does it well.
okay.
Yeah. I think
All right,
he's
not
I
a
think he's
one-trick
really
pony.
good in it. Yeah.
All right. Okay. How do you guys? Okay. Sorry. I thought we gotta do this now. Harry Potter, real quick. How do you guys feel about the recasting?
I don't have an opinion or an awareness.
I just know Cillian Murphy is doing Voldemort, or is
I
Is
think
he?
that's first of all, Jesus Christ, dude. He who must not be named. You mean?
oh sorry,
Holy
that's on my
shit,
bad.
dude.
That's on
Wait,
my
is
Whoa.
that like some
Yeah.
Macbeth shit right there? I'm just
Yeah.
joking.
Well, no,
I'm
it's
just joking.
okay. I thought you didn't. Do you know?
In good luck for Harry Potter world, you say like break a wand. Like you can't say Voldemort on anyway.
Well, you-
Whatever. I'm trying to make a fucking
It's
theater
like
joke.
throwing the
He's doing
salt
it-
over the
failing.
shoulder.
This is part of his
You-
5-minute set that he does. It's like it's tight 5.
It's good. You have to really know the
No
world.
one-
You have to.
He does it on only Wizarding
No
like,
one
theme
sees
nights.
me. No one except me.
No, but
And
Dumbledore is John Lithgow.
Okay.
Love John Lithgow.
So
love
wait,
him.
is the Cillian Murphy?
I think
totally
that's a
different thing?
rumor right now.
Oh,
that would be
okay.
sick. I've heard about that, and that'd be sick because he looks like Tom Riddle and
Right.
Voldemort. So it's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like
yeah.
he'd be the perfect cast. But the other one is I can't remember the name of the dude, but there's this whole controversy because they got a black actor casted for Snape,
Okay.
and everyone's like, because they're like the book says it's like a pale white dude, and then everyone's like going back and forth. So there's like I'm
Okay.
curious because it's like, what like. what's gonna happen when the show comes out? Will people like be like, is this a marketing ploy? Did they do that only to be like a little wow factor, a little like, ooh, we changed it up, and I know we're getting hate mail now and stuff, but they did it for marketing purposes? Because it wasn't like they had to do that, but they did it anyway. It's not like it's not like the actor was someone that I even know. Then get this big actor that or a reason to do it. So I'm curious if it's just marketing ploy. Yeah. Or if it's because like it'll work out really well. You know what I mean?
I also find it weird that people freak out about that stuff. Like all the Disney casting where it's
for
like
sure.
The Mermaid. Little Mermaid is like, I don't fucking care.
This
like,
thing that
and it's what's funny is there's people who aren't gonna go watch it either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's just someone holding on to something they actually don't care about. But like, why not both? Why can't it be a marketing? I'm not saying you're saying that, but like it can be a marketing ploy because every decision ever made on these big budget things are marketing decisions, but it can also be good,
100%. But the reason I say is because the book, and again, like this is based on literature, right? So it's like, which I have someone did kind of shit on
based
that
on youth.
But you know what? Literature
adventures.
isn't like not the Bible, but like it's in the book. It says he was pale and white and had long hair. So I'm curious, like they were like, fuck that, we're gonna go this direction. So that's where I'm like, it's such a bold move for them to do. Is it marketing or is it? But you're like you said, like it could be both. It's marketing and then it pays off because the guy fucking crushes it.
Yeah.
So it's like everyone's watching it But it's just interesting because to do that, they know they're stirring shit. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch
the prompt.
I love how they did. The two white guys are just like, we don't want to comment on this. Let's move forward.
I do find it weird that other people go.
All right, we will get canceled today. Not today, guys. All right.
Okay. Brandon has written a bunch of prompts.
And this time we did it where we had our intro and then
we discussed it. So it might have something to do with what we just talked about, but we don't know. We'll know in a second.
Oh, this is a bummy one. Your first love lost.
We're going straight no comedy this episode.
Yeah.
We're going right in the fields.
Yeah.
First,
Perfect.
I wrote love in because we talked about love, and then I was like, let's try to make.
No, I love it.
Flesh out the front, flesh out the back.
So you basically gave us our arc, the whole film. Your first love lost. Yeah. I love it.
Or it could be just after your first love lost.
Because it could be like 500 Days of Summer where it's about losing the love, or it could be like the movie starts with like you've just lost your love.
Just lost it.
And
it's like
it's like how do you deal? It's all about dealing with the breakup.
Yeah.
Like how to deal with it. Yeah.
It could be about tennis.
Could be about tennis.
Whoa. Yeah, they could. Because points system.
Love lost.
Yeah.
Bit of back and forth.
Do an action film, tennis action film.
Yeah.
Tennis action.
Yeah.
And we cast obviously Shia LaBeouf.
For sure.
Only for PR purposes.
No, Kevin Spacey plays the father.
Yeah.
We're gonna get so many eyeballs on this movie.
Yeah. Lots of talk about the movie.
It's just a cast of canceled actors. The most problematic movie of the generation.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I just recently watched American Beauty again. So yeah, it's still good. It's so good, that movie, man.
Sorry, I'm going way off topic again. Jason Reitman used to do these things at TIFF where it was like table readings.
The guy who did Ghostbusters and SNL
and Juno.
Yeah,
Juno,
and he did a recasting of American Beauty. It had like Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston as the dad.
And they did a table read with a recast.
I
like that.
It was really.
That's
who
brilliant.
else was cast?
I think it was not Dakota Fanning. What's his
Ellie Fanning.
Ellie Fanning played the girl. There was a couple other actors, but I do remember.
That's pretty cool, man.
Bryan Cranston.
I do like that. They just did that recently with so soon too. What's that new Pope movie? Conclave.
Oh
They
yeah.
just did that with Conclave with new actors on. I found that kind of strange because I'm like, the movie just came out.
Yeah.
We're just recasting it.
They got nominated for quite a bit too.
Yeah.
Right?
And then they did like this charity table read for it with like some big actors.
Very cool.
That's fun.
Okay, first love. What if
First love lost?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if it's a pope who like lost his love and then
Well, a pope, like he's like, okay, I'm going to be the pope. I can't
exactly
love anyone no more.
What if it's religion?
Or
Aside
someone
Aside
that
from
just
God and my
became
peoples.
a monk because of
He
the
lost
love
his love,
lost.
yeah.
Now-
Oh yeah, yeah.
Or it's like Whiplash. You know, you've seen Whiplash,
Whiplash, yeah.
where he's like he breaks up with his girlfriend because he's like, I want to be great.
Yeah.
So the monk's like, I want to be the best monk ever.
Yeah.
So he breaks up with his girl,
When
and then he's like practically being a monk. Not my tempo. Whoa. Not my tempo.
when would you guys say you first experienced love?
Oh man.
Aside from
Oh my
general
God.
family
Yeah.
love.
There's sorry.
Aside from like general family love and like, you know, the ethereal.
Family love. What's that like? Whoa. Family love. That's
Love lost. The guy loses his family, or
you talking
we're
my
saying
childhood?
guy, but it could be. Could be anyone.
But
Sorry,
in the traditional sense of love, where there's some person in the world where you're like, they're kind of cool. I might.
My
fall in
first
love with
crush, I guess.
First crush. That's a better way to put it.
Yeah. Was like, I think I was grade 3 or 4, maybe 3. And it was like, yeah, it's just, man, it hits you, man.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like, you have no idea why you're so like infatuated. And it's, yeah. And then it's because and I don't know. I think if you think about it, and maybe your trajectory of like your relationships, you know how they say everything, and especially if you go into therapy, it's like everything results back to your childhood and like the stuff you've been through. It's like how that first love goes, I think does kind of affect how you portray love and relationships later. A little bit.
Yeah.
Because mine didn't go well. Like mine wasn't reciprocated. You know what I mean?
Right.
So do you remember yours? Like, did you have one where it like worked out, your first love?
The first love, like, I remember like my first kiss when I don't ever feel like I felt like overly passionate toward that person, I guess. Like it was just like, hey, we're in grade 6 now, and
we should lock lips.
Holly and Chris, like people used to, there was this couple named Holly and Chris who were like
there was
a
a known couple in grade 6.
Yeah, but like they were a known couple. Not only that, like we would hang out like around the side of the school and like stand around them in a circle like it was a fight. And they would just like make out. Like I've never seen anyone like not on TV. Like they would just be like, all right, make out. And they're like Frenching and shit. And everyone would just stand around and watch. So like my first kiss was very much like that, but it wasn't a makeout thing because I was too.
I don't know why I'm picturing like a jail yard.
Like, it's good. Well, it was in Sydney Mine, so it was basically a jail
you were blocking
yard.
them from teachers because you're
no, we were just around
front
watching it. Like let's just fucking see these two fucking go at it with their mouths.
Okay, can I ask? Were they into this, or were they like, "Can you guys leave, please? We're trying to have a moment."
No, it was like a show. It was like
and now that they're older, they can only be intimate with people.
That's how their relationship with like sex is now. It's like people gotta watch, man. I can't do it otherwise.
It's like I live in a glass house. Even the bathroom. But so my first kiss was like there was a fucking crowd of people standing around, and it wasn't like a blah, blah, blah make out. It was like a working up the nerve for a peck kind of thing. But I never felt the feeling of love, I don't think, until like maybe junior high or.
So Holly and Chris did that.
Holly and Chris did that, and then my first kiss.
But why was that also?
Because that's just that's how
it was a ceremonial kiss every time. It's like,
they're like, oh yeah,
are you hooking up? I better be there because otherwise you can't hook up.
We're gonna kiss at recess or whatever,
Yeah.
And then you go plan it, and it's like me and Adil are gonna fight at recess, and everyone goes out to watch the fight. It's like we're gonna kiss.
Yeah. What's funny is at first, like listening to that, I'm like, that's so weird. But thinking about it, we have as kids, I'm thinking of other weird shit my like school did. Like it's like we have weird rituals as kids, and the school you're in too has like weird things. That just they allow. Like as kids, we just decided like this is normal or whatever. It's very like Lord of the Flies, where you guys just decided in your school that's a thing.
That's what we do. Yeah, like you just stand around and watch each other kiss. It's fucking weird.
But that's like if people
can I ask?
dating.
Was it a really white school?
Oh my God, it was maybe.
Was there any brown or black or
maybe one person of color who was like so on the fringes due to the horrific, surroundings that they're just mentally ill because they're not supported in the community. Not by my hands, but
what did you do?
But yeah, no, very.
He left out. I think he made out in front of them. You're gonna watch.
Very few people of color, sadly. So yeah, very white and very poor.
Yeah.
What about you?
First kiss, I was with my buddy and his girlfriend, and me and my partner who were doing the kissing. But it was kind of like,
is the partner you're with right now?
No.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
No, at the time.
Okay.
I don't know if I give names and give them shout outs, but she's married.
Instagram handle, please.
Yeah.
It's the one that got away at gmail.com.
That was the thing where it's like in our school, it was like if you're dating and someone else was dating, okay, now these are people that are hanging out because everyone's dating. So I wasn't in relationships for very long because it was like, I want to chill with the boys. Like I want to hang out with the boys.
Right.
My first kiss was on the schoolyard after school with another couple there.
You had to hang out with couples.
Yeah. It was like a weird, like, oh, you guys are dating now? I think it was probably like grade
so you couldn't
6.
hang out with your single boys because you're like, I'm in a relationship now.
I'm in a relationship.
So you would end it because you're like, I don't fucking like this guy. I don't want to hang out with this guy. I like you, girl, but I can't stand him, and I have to hang out with him. Fuck that. I'm out.
But that was very much a thing where it was like, hey, like we're hanging out after school. There's going to be another couple.
This is middle school? High school?
Yeah, middle school.
Nice. Okay.
Like 6, 7, 8.
Okay. So that was that your first love?
First love, maybe college. I would say college. Yeah.
Wait, what? Okay, mine's grade 4. You guys are telling me you guys didn't have any kind of love or crush in
Well,
grade
it's
4 or
like
5?
love and crush, I guess we're slicing, because crush is like just like I feel like this is what I should be doing right now when you're that age. You're like,
But there's a should be, but there was no one in like middle school where you were just like enthralled. You're like, this girl.
oh, actually,
is,
my first
like your
kiss-
heart breaks for her. That didn't happen in grade 9.
Well, yeah,
grade 4. I mean,
you're conjuring more memories.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
you've buried those away.
yeah. Well, like it's people that like
as soon as I met my wife, I've just
No one else. No one else.
I just like eternal sunshine to everyone out of my brain. No, I remember I did have a crush on a girl named Monique McLean for a while. But
My guy
like,
has last name
shout
too.
out,
My guy
shout
gets
out.
first and last name.
hey, it's
Gubbies.
fine. It's fine. Shout out, smart, good person. And then there was a girl named Katie Maloney, I think her last name was,
Katie's
and her
a-
parents kind of my parents and her parents kind of decided that we like liked each other, so we'd send each other Valentine's stuff,
Arranged marriage.
but we never really talked.
yeah.
You know, so it's just like one of those things that people like put on you, and you're like, they're young and they're both the same age, and we're friends, so they should,
Interesting. Wow.
But again, like I never felt like real, actual what I would quantify as love. I
Yeah.
never realized what that was till much later.
Okay, so yeah, high school, I was very much into this girl, Jay Wilson. I won't say the full first name. But then what happened, I pursued it, and then she was kind of like, hey, I just want to let you know, not into handsome husky men. And
Her loss.
You're too handsome and husky. buddy.
Her loss.
she just wasn't into the husky guys. So I was like, oh, and then that was like the first.
Wait, time out. Did she say it?
Yeah.
Wait,
Wow.
what?
Yeah.
I mean,
and then
what
I
grade
was
is
like,
this?
this was now grade 11.
Oh,
It was like the
jeez.
first 3
I don't want you to
years of high
relive it,
school.
but what did she say? Like, what did she say? So wait, grade
I'm not
9?
into fat guys. Like I'm not.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wait, grade.
But we were like,
Okay, we need
were
the last name. We need the last name.
No, we got the last name. We didn't get the first name.
Oh, okay. We need
Yeah.
the first name. We got to shame her.
No, yeah. She was like 16. Leave her alone, man. Poor girl.
Yeah,
yeah.
100%.
She had no idea what she was doing either.
And to
Did
be
she
honest,
write on a show? I'm getting that show taken off the air.
Yeah, it's like going back to tweets.
she wasn't into the big guys, which I was kind of like, okay, that actually made it a lot easier for me
Mm.
because I was like, oh, okay, I don't want to really be with someone that's like this, anyways.
Yeah,
and
thank
now
you
it's
for
like taking
showing
the
me.
funny and I'm bringing it down again, in this show.
No,
No, dude, it's great.
No,
So it's because grade 9, 10, 11, you liked her.
9, 10, 11, even into 12 after.
And she
even
knew
after.
grade 9. Well, yeah, you're not going to just be
Yeah.
like lights off. You're
Yeah.
done.
I had the Riz.
Yeah.
I think I still do. Like even like, but when I was single too, I was falling in love quite a bit. If we're like having lust.
Man, love is
for-
great though.
Like
it's
chasing
like-
it,
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
very,
yeah.
very
Well,
into that.
yeah. But also like when you do feel for someone, and when I was younger, I thought like I always say this where I was under the influence that there is one person for you. Like I'm sure there is too, but like what I mean is like, oh, you meet that one person and then you're just locked and you're together and that's it. Like when I was like kind of naive because I watched so many movies too, so I'm like, oh, it's like you have the one person you're gonna find and that's it.
Yeah.
But then the more you start dating or you have one relationship then another one and another one, there is something that's just so pure about like, and it could be with multiple people, that's the thing, but like that initial, like when you have this mutual attraction and then you like this person, and even if it doesn't become something, but that little thing that's kind of builds up and you kind of like share like this kind of
You can't sleep.
experience together. You can't sleep.
Yeah.
Then, food doesn't taste the same. Like all that shit that's cheesy, like that does happen sometimes. Like if
Yeah.
you really do like fall for someone. And it's there's this really good line from this TV show where it's like heartbreak. That's what love really is. Like not the good times and stuff. Sometimes heartbreak is what it takes for you to really realize what love is.
True.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's
True.
yeah. So there, like I want to write something that's like heartbreaky now.
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
I even like the sorry.
No,
I
please,
feel-
please.
The like innocent love that you were talking about that you had in like what was it said grade 3 or maybe
Grade 3 and 4, yeah. Where I didn't even know what the fuck to do with that. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, how do I like? What do I do? What's the next step?
Yeah.
You know?
Lots of
You know what I mean?
How do I get laid?
Yeah. But that's the thing. I didn't even know that was like I could like like at that age you're not thinking that.
No, it's true. You're just like,
'Cause right
I
now
have
at
a
this age-
feeling. What do I? Yeah.
Well, that's it's like
do I-
it's spoiled now because at this
do I-
age, if I like fall for someone or if I start like someone, of course the thought is like, oh, like getting laid or like having sex with this person. Like sex becomes a huge part of that like attraction. Where when you're younger, it's just like I just like this person a lot and I want to talk to them all the time, and it's like that's
I-
all you care about.
I have this picture. I just want to give him this picture that I drew.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to write poetry for them. Like, dude, like literally, like I'm like I want to share like my heart with them at that age. Now it's like I just want to get laid. Like, it's such a it gets spoiled over time, man.
But I feel like those initial stages are so electric because you have that sort of spiritual, like inexplainable, intangible connection, but also you don't know each other. So you're writing who you think that person is, and they're writing who they think you are, and then slowly your individual narratives begin to unravel, and it just becomes like, oh, maybe I actually don't like this person. I just like the idea of what this person
For sure.
is.
No,
you know?
that is actually so true too, because that is a big part of it where you think, because especially at that age from afar, right? You're not that like my social skills weren't so good that I could just like in grade 3 go up to her, sit next to her, be like, hey babe, how you doing? Like what's going on?
Yeah.
You know, like I can't talk to her like that, or like even be flirty with her in any way, or sweet to her, even be like, hey, you look so good, like beautiful today, like, you know, like blah blah blah. Like I don't have no social or communication skills at that age. So you think from afar they're your perfect soulmate or whatever.
And
but
then
you can start
meet
talking to them
and you're like,
yeah.
oh, fuck.
Yeah. And you're like, that was all what I loved was the picture I painted in my brain.
Exactly.
Of
Your writing is your favorite writing, so you love the story the most. But I do recommend just setting a time and place for the first kiss, and everyone can come watch you, and you can't say no.
That sounds hot.
Yeah.
That sounds
Like just awaken something in me that is just like, oh, whoa.
yeah.
Scheduling?
I gotta try this.
Love
out.
is scheduling. Should
Right,
we,
what do you guys-
go to
what
the
do you-
next section?
Wait,
so
what are you
we-
guys doing tonight?
I mean, what time?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, let's go to the next section.
And this is the blue sky part.
Okay, so we're gonna make a movie about lost love. We talked a bit about finding love and a bit about losing love. Under
You're
very
like recapping the whole episode.
very I mean, back in the day, someone saying something like that flew these days. Couldn't get away with that.
What?
When it's like, I don't like fat dudes.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's not cool.
Yeah.
It's hurtful.
But that's like so raw too, right? Like that's such a like you hear about it and you're like, I know people don't talk like that. No one's that mean. And then you're like, no shit, kids are fucking like blunt.
Yeah.
And also it reminds me of, have you ever seen the movie Just Friends? Is it Just Friends? Yeah, with Ryan Reynolds.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Where he
yeah,
plays
yeah.
Husky like in high school, and
Yeah.
then like he goes and he like
He
fucking
gets the
becomes
glow up.
Right, he gets Ryan Reynolds. He becomes
Yeah,
Ryan
yeah.
Reynolds. But there's something there. You could like there's something like that there where it's like someone is mean and then
they're like, oh, but I like you now. And it's like, sorry.
too late.
And it's their
Sweetheart.
love lost.
Yeah.
I was also thinking if it was like someone, because we talked about a little bit about, excuse me, we talked a little bit about painting the picture of the love that you think you would have with someone.
Right.
So if it's maybe a guy who's watching, and this might get creepy, so bring me back down if it does. A guy or girl who's watching someone from afar, and we write it in a way where it's maybe you think that they're actually in love, and it's like a poem or a love letter.
But it's a killer.
But it's like they don't actually know them. And then it's love lost when they figure out the person is actually like maybe married with kids or something like that.
Or like he thought this is like a big wah-wah blow line, but at the end he finally meets and he's like, hey, I've been meaning to talk to you. I think you're so beautiful. And she's like, ah, la, la, la. Like she just has her crazy voice and he's like, ooh, and then it ends.
Womp, womp. Yeah. That is interesting. Like, have you ever seen King of Comedy with De Niro?
King of no.
No, it's
no.
like, I mean, just there's like these like delusions he has in it, and it's that'd be the interesting thing where it's like this guy thinks this is his soulmate. He's getting ready for a date, and he's talking to his mom about it, his like friends about it,
Yeah.
and then he shows up, and it's just so fucked up, but I love it. It's like the whole film's him like really like being, it's so romantic almost, right? Talking to his mom and friends and all that. Then he gets ready for the date, and he's like getting flower, or his mom's like, here, you get some lilies. He's like, no, she's not into lilies. She likes tulips. Only tulips. And he's like so like specific and kind of fucked up. And then his friends like he books a restaurant that he loves or whatever, shows up and sits, and the girl comes and sits. And then you cut to a wide, and he's at a different table. And she's actually on a date with her husband or something. And he goes on dates with them like voyeuristically, and like watches them because he's in love with her.
Like paradater or something. Yeah, like he's like,
and she has no idea maybe that he even exists or maybe she, or whatever, but he's just, it's like maybe reindeerish a little bit, but even more weird because that's not possible. That movie show is fucking weird. I love that show. But yeah, he's just from afar kind of living through their relationship because he's
that's
messed
cool.
up.
Guy from afar, just writing that down. that made me think of like love lost. What if this guy's experiencing these dates from afar, but he's got some weird supernatural power where he feeds off the feeling of breakups. So like he's in tune with these two people and listening, and then he does things to like instill doubt between their relationship so he can get the breakup feeling. I don't know.
Oh shit.
I also, another one to throw in there, love lost, like taking those words both literally, made me think of like Before Sunset or Sunrise or
I
whatever.
want to watch those.
Like they're just like
Have you heard those?
No.
They're the
they're
Richard Linklater Ethan Hawke
movies.
Oh shit.
And they just basically
No, I
walk
haven't
around like fucking Paris or some
Just
shit
talk.
and just talk and have conversations. But it's like a really loving couple who are in love and never don't fall out of love, but they're just lost. So like they're like, your eyes are beautiful. Like, fuck, where the fuck am I? God, we're supposed to turn back there. Fuck. And then, and the first day I met you, like, fuck, we took another wrong turn.
It's
like a camping trip gone horribly
While
wrong
being in
and
love,
then-
yeah. I was thinking, what if we did? Also, I'm gonna have to like on live air have to ask you for the allergy pill right now because I'm dying.
I'll get you your coffee too. You keep vamping. I'll
Yeah.
do this.
But and listen though, because this might be important.
Is it the cats? The cats.
I don't know. Sometimes I get like that, or there might be. I don't know what it is. Yeah, love me some dander. Fuck, what was my idea?
Dander and banter. Am
Yo,
I right?
that's the name of this podcast.
Yeah.
The Dander and Banter.
Dander and Banter.
Dander and Banter. Or it's like a duo buddy cop situation.
Yeah.
Dander and Banter.
Dander and banter.
Yeah.
Watch the dander as they bend. Yeah, fuck.
Wait, no, I was gonna say, have you seen Hitch?
Hitch.
So imagine the opposite version of that, where it's like a guy whose job is to help with breakups.
Oh
Right?
shit.
It's like he's like this, and we could go so many ways about it. We can go like
Yeah.
the way of like ditched.
Ditched.
Son of a bitch. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Ditched
Yeah.
is the title. That's the title. Yeah. John wasn't on the mic when he said it, but that was his idea.
So
Oh, the pill.
it's like a guy who is maybe too nice or is a little bit too introverted and has
Or afraid of his
Afraid.
partner.
wait.
yeah.
Wait. This is the guy who then hires
hires
Mr. Ditch.
yeah.
son of a ditch, Mr. Ditch. But because I was thinking like we can go that's our plot, sure, but we can go any kind of genre. We could make it stylistic and almost like a spy movie where this guy's like takes it so seriously, like he has like gadgets that helps him with breakups, or it's just like fun to
Got like a sexual arousal PKE meter. It's like, oh yeah, she likes that. So do the opposite.
do the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think there's that writes itself almost, and for us to have fun with that, we could do that.
Yeah.
So that's one option I would like to put out there. Ditched.
I like that the best so far.
Yeah.
I do like the creepy first idea too. Like I love that, but that's so. But it's like, and we can go the dark way, but also because it's a love lost thing, it can go kind of sweet.
But
Yeah, I think we could add some good comedy into that idea.
And
the
yeah,
ditched
that's the thing.
idea.
Yeah.
but also kind of doing the perceived picture of love thing, like and the guy watching from afar. That could be a cool like intro scene where it starts with that weird poem or something, but it's really him like
Commenting.
dismantling or commenting on them,
Yeah.
and then in the next scene it's with the guy and it's like, all right, here's what you need to do, or the
Yeah.
girl. Like it doesn't need to be a guy trying to break up with a woman, it could be a woman trying to break up with a man, but whatever. Or a man trying to break up with a man, or a woman trying to break up with a woman. It can be anything we want.
Could be anything.
Thank you. But
Oh my
like
God.
maybe that
the
could be
fear of like saying the wrong thing is
that could
insane.
be
Eh?
that could be an interesting sort of
Way to begin the film.
is it a red herring like where it or a mulligan that makes you think it's going to be one thing, it's like,
okay,
oh, this
yeah, yeah.
brooding weird thing, and then it becomes a comedy after that.
Yeah.
Or we
Well,
could
that's what I was
incorporate
thinking.
that
'Cause you
idea.
could even make it
is what I'm
like
saying.
he's a fucking like the way I was picturing a way to do the what's it like what you're trying to say is like miscommunication or like the bait and switch.
Yeah,
Yes, like
yes.
where I was like, how like in a Hitman film or whatever, there's like the apartment window and the guy goes, he has a briefcase, he sets up his like silencer, like sniper, and he gets the thing.
The killer.
Yeah, right. So
I
it's
just watched
the
that.
killer. There you
Great-
go. Yeah,
great movie.
Mike, I couldn't finish it. I gotta go back to it. I thought it was so slow, so I was like, I'll watch it another time. But it's like him, like he's like walking up a staircase and he has like a briefcase and he's like narrating the film.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
he opens his briefcase up, and you don't see the contents. And you think again, the movie starts like it's like a serial killer, but it's him just what you have an idea.
Yeah, it's like he opens it up and it's like fart spray, and he's like,
yeah. He's setting the house for booby traps.
Oh my gosh!
So that when
setting up the room.
So when she comes home,
disconnects the internet, like does all this shit.
she has
to
like
make the
those. So
date
she has the worst date. Yeah, that's yeah. So I was like, you can definitely bait and switch like that. Start with like one way, and then it's like.
And having like Kevin James be the guru and Will Smith be the guy who needs the help, and it's like, hey,
you're too suave.
You're too suave. You're too nice. You're too thoughtful. Like you got to be a chud like me,
That's funny.
You could use the monologue too as a way of like getting a character insight on whoever this ditcher dude is.
Yeah.
Like
the
if he's
guy who
watching-
runs the ditching company.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Of
You think
like,
this is-
why does this guy do this?
Well, he's
Like,
yeah,
what has
exactly
happened
because
to
Will
him?
Smith has a story in Hitched
Yeah.
where he got his heart broken. So, what's this guy's opposite story? Like, he has a great life.
He's never had a broken heart, and he's trying to figure out how that feels. And he doesn't have he doesn't want to blow up his life, but he's like, or he could be like we always fucking do film shit, but he could be an actor preparing for a role who's never fallen out of love or never been broken up with, and he needs to feel the feelings.
He himself has 10 wives, and he just doesn't know how to
doesn't
break
know how
up
to
with
break
them,
up.
but
Yeah,
he can
but
do
he
it
can
really
break
well.
that. That's funny too. Yeah, I like that. I like that he's in a world where he's never felt like a heartbreak, so he's vicariously living through these heartbreaks, and he loves it. He gets a rush off it.
It could be more that could be more interesting, but then it could also just be a coward who is in a miserable situation and would do everyone a favor by leaving it, but doesn't. It doesn't have the
Like the main character.
the main character. Like he doesn't
My
have
eyes are
the
so fucking itchy right now. Okay. Sorry, that was like unnecessary. I didn't have to say that.
No,
Oh, it's snowing outside. What the fuck?
dude, the weather has been
Yeah.
very.
yeah. March does that to you. It
I really
teases you at the
derailed this
beginning.
whole thing.
Like, oh, it's really warm.
Okay,
Oh,
so we're making a movie
Sorry,
about
thank
a
you, man.
warm
Bring us
day.
back.
It's the movie's about a warm day. It's March.
Yeah.
It came in like a
There's a guy
lamb,
with
and now it's
allergies.
going out like a lion. There's a guy with allergies,
And it's snowing.
and it's snowing in March, as per usual. Yeah, I mean, I think there's plenty of stuff to go in there, but yeah, maybe we decide before moving on if he's like a coward or if he wants the experience.
I
And it's
think
just
to
too
keep
suave.
it like I think if we follow because the first draft, if we follow the structure of oh my god, dude, I'm like dying here.
We'll take we'll once we're done this,
Yeah.
we'll be able to.
Take a step away.
Today's episode is brought to you by Allegra. Allegra, take it before you record your podcast. You guys want to do an ad for Allegra?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, I need Allegra. Can I get a second take on that?
Yeah, I think you need one. Yeah, I think you should. Wait, I was gonna. Okay, sorry.
No.
I was gonna keep going with the story.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Before we finish this section,
Okay.
do we want to? I'm only doing it as a devil's advocate because this idea, I think the best way to do is you make it like a parody of Hitch.
Yes.
You know,
yeah,
you
and you
treat-
just,
you treat it like-
just literally flop everything.
What you said, Kevin James and Will Smith. What you said, where it's like he goes through heartbreak when he's younger, so he's like, I'm gonna help guys like
you
get
just-
girls. Now he's like, I've never broken up with anyone. Like he's still cool with all his exes. He's like, like maybe that's kind of part of it. Or he's married to the same girl he's been with forever. So he's with her because he never broke up with her. And he's like, I got to live to people, whatever. Like really make him the opposite of Will Smith's character in that, right?
Yeah.
Or actually,
all the breakups are like mutual and copacetic.
well, no,
and
sorry.
shit.
I just realized if he's Kevin James, then like if it's the opposite, Will Smith's suave. This guy should be like like Chris Farley, Kevin James. Like, shouldn't he be the opposite?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like this guy, let's say bad. What are we gonna call him?
Ditched. Give him a name. Let's give him a name.
Mr. Ditched right
Mr.
now.
Ditched,
Mr.
right.
Ditched,
Okay.
the guy who's coaching someone to get.
Yeah, he runs a company where he helps with breakups.
He is Kevin James. He is a chud. He's been through the worst breakups ever. He's fucking fucked up in every way imaginable. He's like a professional relationship destroyer. Will Smith is not. He is either in one long successful relationship or every one of them ends fine. And then Kevin James is like, and he's like, I just want to feel the real pain of a bad breakup. I want to feel a bad breakup. And the guy's like, I fucking got you. I've done it 1,000 times. Here's what you do. So it's literally just flipping it. And so
But the Will
everything.
Smith character would really need to want to be out of this because the little heart we can put in there is like Will Smith's like, I don't want to hurt her like this, or he's like, or she's not good for me. Maybe he's in a toxic relationship.
Yeah,
that could be because that would actually be what the movie would be.
You want to,
or if he's a guy who's so suave, he could be like, it's too perfect. Like, I don't know. Like, I want to move on. If he's really,
but that's
like,
what I mean. Why would he want to move on though?
But sorry.
Yeah.
We could do the thing where he wants to break it up, but in the end, you scoop it back and you're like, he reproposes because he wanted to like end it so they could have the magic of being together for the first time again. You know, like they get
a
it.
Cop out, man. That's a cop out.
I mean,
that is. I mean, yeah. I like the idea of if you want to put a message into this film, it's like this guy is in a bad because then Mr. Dish becomes a hero or a protagonist instead of an antagonist. Where it's like Mr. Dish maybe has gone through. He's so good at breaking up because he's good at telling red flags and like the bad signs, and he's like really good at that. So he's like, you know how in Hitch, he's like, you should date this girl. Like their whole film's intro is like, he's like, you're good with her, you're good with him, you're good with this. But this one, he's like, you're not good in this. This relationship's not good.
Yeah.
This relationship's not good. Like he has this skill where he can do the narration where he's like walking by a street and he sees like a couple and he's like, they're gonna break up in a month. Like he can tell
14
that they're
days,
not. Yeah,
32 days.
Yeah. He's like fucking Abed when it comes to like how long is that relationship gonna last?
She's reaching for his hand. He's been cheating on her for 3 months.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
And
she needs to be out of this. And then he gives her like he's one of those things where he walks by and he gives her his card because he's like she needs to be out of this relationship. He needs to help her break up because a lot like I was just talking to someone recently about this where I luckily have had a good radar, but like there are some relationships where some people are dating someone for 3 years, but a year and a half in they were like, I want out of this, and they still date for another year and a half because the breakup isn't that's the fucked up part. You get so into it that you're like breaking up is now a whole thing. It'll take a year to do it.
You're just extricating yourself from each other's lives. Yeah, it's tough.
So it's like Eternal Sunshine meets Hitch.
Right. I like that. And just as a character thing, it'd be really funny if like the Kevin James character was always eating like a meatball sub or something. Like he's just always doing disgusting shit and like just repulsive.
And it's like
every
but it's crazy because he's like that, but he's so
but
good
like
though.
smart.
He's so smart because he needs to be I want to paint him like he is good. He's looking out for people. Instead of making him antagonist, it's like he's like you need to like if you get really into it, like your first love, like you said. That's a great way to circle all of our talks back together where when you date someone, it's one of your first loves, right? You paint that picture in your head. So you're like, this girl, she's gorgeous. Like I'm speaking from my perspective, you know, but it's like, she's gorgeous and she's funny and I love this about her. Then you start dating and you're like, oh, a lot of the good stuff was in my head or vice versa, right? A lot of the good stuff she thought about me was in her head. And it's like, he looks out for people like that because he's like, you guys got in too quick or you guys are not meshing, but you're staying together because you're too scared to break up. So he's looking out for people to be like, you're in a bad relationship, let me get you out of it. Instead of like, you're single, let me get you in a relationship, which was Hitch's thing. His thesis is the opposite.
Yeah. And just
how do you feel about that?
I like it.
I like it.
Very blunt, to the point.
Yeah.
Like almost rude, but like one of those people.
But that's the thing that you have to give him like that little quirk where he's not an asshole because like I don't want to paint him like, oh, he's a mean guy, but he's just very like, guys, don't waste your time in a relationship that's not working. You're going to end up break up today instead of tomorrow.
Yeah.
I like the idea of his values being like centered and moral, but I just think his way of being, like he should just be chuddy and exhibit and give it red flags just to give him like a kind of an unappealing thing. But then the contrast is his ideas are actually really good and they work.
Can you think of a character like that? Like I'm trying to like, cause I'm having a hard time. Who's like,
think of God, I just want to say Jared from Subway.
Jesus.
Because I thought of the meatball sub. But like, just I
well,
can't.
How about then? Have you guys seen King of Queens with Kevin James?
Yeah.
Like he's like not a bad guy in it, but he is like a bit of a.
What about Kevin Can Fuck Himself? That the husband on Kevin Can Fuck Himself. Did you guys see that show?
No.
It's a show about a sitcom called something with Kevin. It's Andy Murphy and a bunch of people.
I know the
when she's with the husband, it's like filmed like a sitcom with a laugh track and it's all bright. And then when she's by herself, it's like.
But he's
dark.
a villain though in that.
He is a villain. I think this guy kind of has to.
That's what like. I don't see a villain in this guy. I think he's a guy who's helping people, but he's just blunt and he's like, why? He's like basically he sees you're in a bad relationship. He's like, I'm gonna help you out of it. He's not like breaking people up for the fun of it.
No, I'm not saying that, but I still think that like.
But no, so he's an anti-hero, let's call it.
Yeah, anti-hero.
But I'm trying because Kevin is not an anti-hero. That's just
he's a bad
villain.
Guy. Yeah.
So I'm trying to find out I'm trying to find a comp, like comparison of a character in real, so that we can all get closer to this character when we write it. Who does he remind you of? Like, is it like I say Kevin James right now from King of Queens because he's like just a husband who, can have mishaps and fuck up, but he's a nice guy. Or like Phil Dunphy, where he's like, that's more like different, but you know what I mean?
Too much himbo. But
what about Jay in Modern Family?
Or like, is there a detective almost that's like a sloppy person in real life, but really good detective? Is there a character like that?
That's a good way. Yeah, there could be. You're right.
Just picture Kevin James, but just like wet.
Yeah.
He's just wet and greasy, you know?
Yeah.
It's just that.
Unappealing Kevin James.
Yeah. And like he's just got like fucking crust on his eyes and shit. And like he's just not appealing
but
to
the
look at.
fact that we can't find a comp, it's like that's really tough. That means that's a tough character to create.
I mean, I would say it's an original character to create.
Yeah.
Fair.
Hasn't been done before.
But I think we got to find it. We got to find ways to just not like shit on him or whatever. He has to have some valid insights, but also find a logical reason for his subject, his client to not want to be in that relationship.
Isn't it just Kevin James from Hitched? Because isn't he like really sweet and cuddly, but he is like just all over the place and like doesn't know how to dance.
Yeah.
Isn't it kind of that?
What about Jack Black from Orange County?
That's
just
a good
like on speed.
Yeah. Or Jack Black in Shallow Hal, or Jack Black in School of Rock.
Dude,
Jack Black in School of Rock. No?
Jack Black in Orange County did have like he helped him
break up,
progress, right? To
yeah, I think so. There was like there was some kind of,
he had like knowledge that he dropped on him, but he was like this stoner dude.
Right. Yeah.
Is the one with the school where he's trying to get into school and Jack Black helps him? Colin Hanks' character.
Yes, Mike White, right? Wrote this.
Orange County. No, you're thinking of School
Mike
of Rock.
White wrote it.
Mike White wrote School of Rock.
Jake Kasdan directed it. Yes. Okay. Well, yeah, but he was trying to get into Stanford.
That's it.
But yeah, Jack Black is kind of a good thing because he's like, but maybe not like ADHD Jack Black, but like, a bit more of a subdued version of him. Okay. Anyway.
So, now I'm not trying to throw a wrench. I was trying to bring this up way earlier, but now I think we're too far on this trip. I was like, we really definitely want to throw away the other idea where it's a creepy guy who's fucked in the head and he thinks he's dating a woman, but she's actually already dating someone. Remember that earlier idea?
Yeah.
I think we like bitched.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. It's just like that one seems less fun to write.
Yeah. Fair. I just thought it was different, but this one is just like already like we're in. Like, it's so fun to write this one already. So okay.
I mean, we could probably take, like we were talking about, taking moments that are kind of like that.
The bait and switches and stuff.
Yeah. Where it's like maybe that killer intro mixed with watching from afar.
Yeah.
To like help set up who this ditched Kevin James guy is.
Cool.
Do we want to, because we're pretty like, again, the story's kind of like running on its own, which I love. That's when you know it's a good story. Like it's just happening. Do we want to go through our beats a little bit?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So maybe like the bait and switch intro.
Yeah, where he's like narrating and again, maybe setting up he should be breaking up someone else, not the main character yet.
Right.
And this like, he's like breaking up this side character we see for a bit. And that's how he's introducing himself.
Yeah, and it can just be like the tail end of that.
Yeah, because again, it's a short film, so it needs to like be quick, the intro of him. Mm-hmm. And then we got to get into the next one, ASAP Rocky.
And then establish, I'm going to say Will Smith character. So it'd be like intro, bait and switch intro, introducing Hitched guy. And then the next scene we introduce Will Smith, maybe see what
with his girlfriend.
We have to see what his world looks like. Then Kevin James comes in. Then we kind of destroy the relationship or not.
Okay, here's actually just to pitch something because
or if he's on recon for one and then notices, oh, this guy is really chatting up the waiter or something, and then was like, oh, this guy needs the help.
Yeah.
Finds the
Will Smith. So this is what I was gonna say. Just because again, I'm already worried it's like a 15-page script now. It's like a long short. So this is my thing. What do you guys think of this? As he's doing this narration and setting it up. He's actually doing, I'm kind of vetoing whatever I already said, but instead of it being a different character, what if it is the Will Smith, like the main character he's breaking up?
It's probably cleaner.
Well, because then he's putting the last touch on this final breakup night, but now he goes, let me tell you what I do. And then it cuts back a few days ago, how he met and as he's setting up this final destruction of a date, like the fart spray or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you find out why some of the stuff he's doing, the internet thing where maybe earlier they had a conversation and he's picking up on like, oh, what will she be upset about or what won't she like? So you kind of start the film on, it's such a cliche, the end. And then you go back and then you tell the story of what his business is and how he met this Will Smith guy and how he's helping him and then catch up to the final thing where the breakup happens and he's like, And again, it's a short, so you don't have to do this crazy plot twist because the ending is just him like walking away. You know how like it's a walk away and explosion in the background, but it's walking away and all you see is them being. She's like,
"What the fuck?"
Yeah. And then she walks out of the room and then Will Smith's like at the camera smiles.
Yeah. I like that too. I would maybe want to not make it like monologue-y because that to me sounds like it'd be monologue-y.
Like narrating a lot.
Narrating and then I did this and then I did this. Which if we get there, we get there. Pitch for a plot twist at the end though. What if the Kevin James guy ends up with Buddy's ex because he knows all the stuff that she likes? You know what I mean? Like his motivation is just to
chuddy,
get. He is chuddy.
So he's not
everything.
running a business.
He's running a business. He's doing the thing, but then now he's like, now I know what makes this woman happy, so I'm gonna date her for a little while.
Is that his whole career?
It could be.
Like,
it's just like
he breaks people up and then dates the girl.
Yeah,
after. That's
it could be that. You know?
The plot twist is he's Kaiser Sose.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically,
yeah,
he's the villain.
He's limping away, and then he walks normal.
I like that.
Could be something.
That's a really fucked up ending, but I like it. It's like,
or
really,
like there's a post credit scene where the wife comes in and
she's at a coffee
like,
shop. Yeah,
it worked. Yeah. It worked. Black 2 sugars.
Yeah.
You know me so well.
Yeah. Wait, he's helping the guy though.
He's helping the girl at the end. Maybe like he ends up with the girl.
The twist is he's helping the girl.
No, he's helping the guy, but then
he steals his partner.
He steals the partner. So he helps the guy, and then cut to like post credit or whatever. She's at a coffee shop sitting, and he's like there, and he's like, "Oh, are you reading this? So am I."
Yeah. That could be an
he's
interesting.
A piece of shit. You find out he's like that's like the funny plot twist where it's like, oh, he's actually a monster.
Yeah,
this guy's a fucking sociopath.
Yeah. Then you just see him take a bite of a sub, and we cut to black.
You really want to fucking get the sub
pulls it out from the book.
Oh man, I like that. And like you said, the monologue thing, I think you get rid of it by it starts a bit monologue, you're narrating style, and then when he goes, "This is what I do for a living" or whatever, and we cut to the scene of him, like we can just cut to him, like you said, maybe he's at a restaurant, like when he cuts, like, "This is who I am. I'm this blah blah blah." Cuts to him like talking about his career of these things, and he's at a restaurant and he sees someone talking to the waiter, or like he sees a couple not getting along, and I think you kind of have to make it narrative. I feel
it might, and we might get there. I'm just saying, like, if we can avoid it, let's do it, and if not, then it's just a Tuesday, you know?
Yeah. So it starts with the ending. He's talking about like what he does, and he's like, and as he's doing it, we're explaining actions of like, he takes out the internet or whatever, blah blah blah, this and that, and then a picture of Elon Musk on the wall, like he's just really making this guy douchey.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to like the opening, like, and then it cuts to like how he met this guy days ago, and then as he meets him, maybe we can show his skills off because he meets this guy for a coffee, and then while he's talking, like Kevin James talking to Will Smith, another couple walks by, and then now it's not narrating anymore because he's telling Will Smith like, that couple right there, for example,
this
blah blah blah, and then Will Smith's like, "How'd you know?" And it's like he wows him, and then
like, I can tell you've been looking to break up with
He's
like, what? How do you know? He's like, well, to see this couple.
Yeah, he's like, let me show you my work.
Yeah.
And then we can definitely cut to then just Will Smith and his girlfriend having like a thing, and now Will Smith's getting recon for this guy to help him break him up. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
I understand. Okay.
You're with it.
Anything else?
Just happy to be here, guys.
I can't believe we're doing this.
All right, let's go write it.
Let's go write this shit.
And now, Ditched. Interior apartment night. We hear the door open as Kevin, 29, a dark shadow in a trench coat and a wide-brimmed hat, slinks into the apartment. He immediately dumps a bag of laundry on the floor and spreads it around with his feet as he moves through the room. We hear Kevin in voiceover.
It's been said time and time again that love makes the world go round. But my question to that is, what if you want off the ride?
He exchanges the warm tungsten light bulbs for cold, lifeless fluorescent ones.
What if the vibe is off?
He goes to the washroom and flips the toilet paper roll to face inwards.
What about those just stuck in a shitty situation?
He sprays some fart spray around the bathroom. Now in the living room, he turns on the TV and cues up a Proud Boys playlist.
Now, I'm not bashing love, but I do think with the wrong person, love may find a way to bash you.
He lets the video play while placing 4 different copies of Mein Kampf in plain sight.
But that's where I come in.
Cut to interior living room, a couple's game night.
You ever been to a game night with a couple who are just, well...
Missy and Jonathan, a married couple, play charades. Jackal! Jackal, it's Jackal!
If it wasn't Jekyll the first fucking time, why would it be Jekyll the second time?
You're embarrassing me in front of my friend!
You should be embarrassed.
The camera pans toward the couple, patiently waiting it out. Awkward. Interior apartment night. Kevin places a small kennel on the ground. A feral cat growls on the inside. He carefully opens it, and a blur of fur and ferocity rips through the apartment.
Like, what if we want something so bad that it's impossible to see that it is, in fact, bad?
Cut to interior coffee shop. A man and a woman are at the front counter. The man flirts with the barista right in front of his girlfriend.
I mean, look at this guy. People are together, but they're living in two different worlds.
The barista secretly writes her number on the cup, and the couple walk away.
But this story isn't about that couple.
The camera moves over to the table where Will, 25, sits alone. Kevin comes in and sits down across from him.
Hey there, Will.
Yeah, Kevin?
Yes, sir. So, looking to get out of your first relationship. You called the right guy.
Yeah, I mean, she's great, and I love her, or at least I did.
Hey, man, you don't love her, and that's okay.
Awkward pause.
Well, Will, I'm here to tell you it's all right. You'll never find the right one unless you break up with the wrong one, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, it would help if you weren't a coward. I'm kidding. Sheesh. Don't worry. Okay, that's what I'm here for, and I promise to keep it nice and clean. So, now tell me why you want to break up.
It's just, we're not the same people anymore. I care for her, but I can totally imagine life without her. Like, it excites me, But we were each other's first, and
no need to beat a dead horse. I get it. And this isn't my first rodeo.
Kevin looks around the shop.
Look.
He points to a couple, a few tables over. They're both on their phones.
Is that what you want your relationship to be?
No.
Kevin points to another disengaged couple looking at their phones.
Or them?
No.
What about...
Okay, no. See, now I get it.
Kevin smiles.
There he is. Now tell me.
He leans in with a devilish smile.
What does your girlfriend hate?
Cut to interior apartment night. Kevin admires the mess he's made around the apartment. We hear him in voiceover again.
So I guess I'm kind of like the Grim Reaper of love. The anti-Cupid. Stupid. I'm still workshopping the name. I'm here to relieve another soul from the hells of a toxic relationship.
Cut to interior house night. A young Kevin holds his mom's hand as they walk into a bedroom.
You see, I learned at a young age.
To their horror, they see his dad with another woman. Then we abruptly cut to interior apartment night. We snap out of the flashback.
Shit, they're early. I guess that story will have to wait.
Kevin turns up the volume of the alt-right playlist on the TV. Then there's a sound by the door. Keys entering the lock. He quickly moves over to the window and hops out of the fire escape. The door begins to open as he realizes...
Fuck!
He takes out an eviction notice and places it in full view on a side table. Then the door opens and he hears a gasp. Kevin is gone.
Why the fuck are you watching Jordan Peterson at full volume? Oh my god, what's that smell?
Kevin begins to make his way down the fire escape. He listens on with a smug grin. His dirty work is paying off perfectly.
What smell? Whoa. I don't smell anything. It smells like Jesus. It smells like the usual. And Peterson has some good points.
Kevin finally makes it to the ground, and now the voices in the apartment are getting louder. We hear the growl of the feral cat tearing through the apartment.
Jesus.
She sneezes uncontrollably.
Since when do you have a cat?
Since forever. That's Mittens. He's my soulmate.
You're what?
She sneezes again.
I need a tissue.
There's a momentary silence before...
Oh my god. Your toilet paper is on backwards? You psycho!
Kevin finally gets to his car. He takes a seat and twists the rearview mirror to check his appearance. He looks good.
You're getting evicted?
Yeah, I thought I could move in with you.
No, hard no. This is done. We are finished.
Kevin looks up to the window of the apartment and sees the girlfriend storming out. Will shoots him a thumbs up through the window. We hear Kevin in voiceover again.
There's that age-old question, is it better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all? And to that I say, hell yeah, it is.
Kevin sees the girlfriend exit the apartment building. She drops onto the sidewalk, crying.
And if you know anything about me by now, you know that I love quotes. Want to know my favorite one?
Kevin reaches into the back seat and grabs a bouquet of flowers.
One man's trash is another man's treasure.
He gets out of the car and walks toward Will's recent ex.
Finn! conclusion,
That was good. What do you guys think?
I liked it.
that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun.
That was fun to see you get into it. It
Yeah.
took you a line or two, and then you were like, then you guys started just coasting. It was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like it was a little bit hard to get into the noir voice, but it was a lot of fun.
The back and
whole
forth scene, you had a
process.
lot of fun with
Yes.
when they're actually talking.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, I felt like I was just gonna add a spice of myself, and it was great. But I enjoyed it, guys. This is
No.
cool that you guys you write a script.
Every
Yeah,
time.
we have 31
often.
scripts now.
Yeah,
Every time. We have 2 episodes, I think, that don't have, that are just like us being like, and then the ball does
What
a
was
thing.
the
Like
improv
we
script
did like,
there, yeah. I mean, it's still
we
a
went up
script,
the
though.
rails for 2 episodes. but
Question
then-
for you guys: do you have a favorite script that has come out of this? Like something, or I guess one that is more. I guess it's tough
No, I do.
because maybe guests would be like, "Well, why isn't it more?" But do you have one that like always comes to your mind of like, "Oh,
It's actually
say
non-guest
it on
ones.
say it on 3? No, it's maybe it is. Say it on
Mine
3,
is not the guest one.
but say it on 3.
I think it's the same one, isn't it?
1, 2, 3.
the
Knock
PA.
knock.
Which is the knock knock?
The one
oh,
but
knock
the-
knock's great.
the comedian.
Oh my god, knock knock's great.
The
yeah.
PA one too, though. Yeah,
PA one, the call time. That's what that's called.
Yeah,
call
yeah.
time. And then knock knock's great. Yeah.
it's based. Knock knock is basically just like a build up to a really bad punchline. Like it's a
But this guy
comedian,
finds out that when he makes jokes, he kills people. Like
Okay,
literally
okay.
kills them.
but then like he's like, I'm never telling a joke again. But then he like faces a couple being mugged or something at the end,
Okay.
and they're like, "What are you doing here, funny
What are you
guy?"
gonna
And
do
he's
about
like,
it? And he goes-
he's like, "Knock knock."
And the movie ends because it's like he's about to kill him.
Okay, yeah.
If you think a superhero with his
Yeah.
power is, if he makes you laugh, you die.
I was gonna say you guys did one that was not invincible, kind of invincible-esque.
Oh yeah, it was the superhero one where the bad superheroes like
Oh, the
fucking
training
around.
day.
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
training day, but
yeah.
with a superhero. Yeah,
That was cool.
That was fun. Is that?
Here we go.
Hey, long time listener, first time participant.
No, that was really fun having you, man. That was good.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. It was,
And I like that
great.
we did go kind of deep with it too. You know, it was
Yeah,
like,
God,
it was
God.
about love.
It was about love. We got like, it's pretty jokey, but I think there's some like themes buried in there. You know?
I think so. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the like I like comedies that have a message. Not, again, like this is still a first draft. There's so much missing from it for sure. Like I'm not saying it's a really deep story right now,
Yeah,
but even some of
my-
the things he says about like the wrong couples being together or like showing toxic relationships, like yeah, I'd watch that. Someone who helps you get out of that. Although at the end of it, he becomes an asshole and
That's
is
my
a bad
bad.
guy,
That's my
apparently.
bad. But again, like we talked about how villains aren't always, it's not black and white. There's like gray areas and stuff. And like just because it is kind of a quick little ditty, having that little spin at the end was kind of
yeah,
fun
it's a
for
little
me.
like short film, little shock value kind of thing. Which
Yeah.
I do like. Yeah.
People
and-
are multiple things.
It's true.
People can be.
They contain multitudes, they say. If
people
I
are
love
like
quotes,
flowers.
because I'm like a flower.
They
'cause
have petals.
my petals always to the
Like an
metal.
onion, like layers.
Yes, yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I was
yeah,
going for.
sure.
That was nice.
But yeah, every time my only like, I wish we had done this. It's all like second, third draft stuff.
Yeah.
Because like I think like going down the line with this, this story, there's a lot of stuff to play
Well,
there.
I would want to
like
flesh his character.
you
out.
could
I
do
would-
a feature
yeah.
like like literally swap
but
Kevin
yeah.
and Will and
I was also thinking moments of like, they get those shots where you see the room changing and it's
Yeah.
the same of like him almost walking in the background of all those little moments of like the partners fighting,
games. Night.
yeah, and he's
games
like,
night and stuff. Like he's there, but they're not seeing him.
Like he's
Yeah.
talking in their world, talking to
Yeah.
the camera, but he's yeah.
yeah. Like I would maybe explore that a little bit, but honestly, I thought you guys in the writing process brought in a lot of cool storytelling. What is it? You guys brought in a lot of cool ways to tell the story
Yeah.
and
like,
make it like new and like trying to think strategies.
structure.
Structure,
Yeah. Like
strategies.
it's like taking like, and usually a lot of them already exist, right? They're just like they're different kind of like. And now I'm having the same issue as you. I can't think
Tricks?
of the word. Tricks is
Tricks?
a word. There's another
Tools?
word that we're looking for.
Tools.
Tools is a good word.
But like when he's talking about the couple in the cafe and then it kind of goes to him.
it's not
and
about them. It's about
yeah.
this
Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that
And there are
type of
things that
stuff.
I've seen in movies. It's not brand
Tropes.
new. Tropes is a great
Tropes.
way to put it. Because it's like that's really what it is. Our building blocks usually are tropes, and then we put our originality. That's how you'd write a quick story too, right? Or that's also why those books exist. Where like I don't love it when there's like when a book tells you this is how you write a script. Like there's that one book story
Save the Cat.
Save the Cat's
Save the
good.
Cat,
But
Story.
have you read Story? It's
Mickey,
literally called Story.
It's on that shelf somewhere.
And then it tells you like literally like, oh, by page 15 you should have this, and by page 20.
I like those for
They keep
goalposts. They for just for doing what we do to get a first draft. You get goalposts that you just work to every night, and then you go and say fuck all this. And
Well, all these writing like tricks and stuff, I feel, and Dan Harmon said it in one of it because he has the circle. His thing is the Dan Harmon circle. So everyone, there's like multiple ways to write a script or multiple formats or structures. But the way he says it, he's like, I only have this. He's like, yeah, I do this or I preach this, but I only do this because there's times where I'm just stuck and I don't know what the fuck comes next because you're writing and it's like, what is that? So then what do? You go to the structure and you're like, technically, this should happen next. So now it gets you out of your head. So you're not thinking like, what's next? It's more about you're just writing now.
Yeah. It's
so like goalposts and like
not painting, not as simple as painting by numbers, but you have the sort of confines that you work in. Okay, what do I gotta this is a leg. He's wearing jeans. I'm gonna start painting the jean color. Yeah. Which is blue.
It was interesting because when I started writing, I would take like a movie that I liked and be like, oh, in this scene, first scene, this happens. And then I would like rework and do. So that's how I wrote the first couple of scripts that I wrote. And then now it's a lot more of like following a Dan Harmon structure and stuff like that. Yeah. But I really feel like you guys have a good grasp on story structure where it was cool to watch you guys just not have something like that in front of you and just kind of go off feeling, and it feels like the feeling works a lot of the times.
So yeah, knock on wood. So far, it's been like we've always come out with something we're happy with, and I think it's like just. I really do think. I mean, for me, actually, I don't. I'm not being a blanket statement, but like to write, it helps to watch a lot of films, and I think you have a catalog in your brain
and read scripts
read scripts for sure. So
stealing just like turns of phrases to like. Be able to explain things more succinctly. Like it's all economy of speech too, right? Yeah. And you're trying to paint a picture. So it's like, and that's why I think I use a lot of big words because I'm trying to like paint more with these words, but sometimes it just gets convoluted. So it's a weird balance.
But I don't know. I feel like it's like we're going to, whenever we do this podcast, we're like hitting the gym together and like training, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're getting our reps in. So like we have 31 like sessions we've done. And every time it gets kind of stronger. Like today, honestly, it felt quick the way we kind of blew through it.
It was pretty quick, I'd say for sure.
Yeah. Good stuff. Anything you want to share before we?
Anything you want to plug in like 2 weeks from now?
This will come out probably April 9th.
Yeah, 2 weeks from now. No, I'm just going to be around Toronto doing a lot of improv, doing a lot of comedy and stuff like that.
How's that thing going? World's Biggest.
World's Biggest is doing well. Yeah, JJ and I are on the third round right now.
Nice.
So come on out and support the crowd people. It's March 30th.
Okay.
At SoCap.
This Sunday.
Oh, so it might not be there, but you might hear about them progressing. And JJ, you'll remember from a previous episode.
What was his
JJ Greenberg
script?
It
was about the softcore porn guy.
The Judd Apatow film.
Yeah.
That's funny. Of course.
That was good. That was a funny one.
Oh yeah,
he wanted to be more. But was very comfortable with. It was very Xena Blue-esque, if you guys watched that, where it's like the vacuum cleaner that wanted, or the pool cleaner that wanted to be more, but was actually more content with just being the pool cleaner.
But that end. Sounds very up my alley.
Yeah. It's love, death, and robots.
Oh, I've seen that.
So there's one episode where it's like this incredible artist. This AI artist that was like a pool cleaner, and they wanted to like do all these amazing things in their life, and then eventually just their very last art show was them becoming the pool cleaner again and being more comfortable.
I like that.
So I felt the script that you guys wrote.
It goes from softcore to real to then back to softcore.
Yeah, it felt very deep underneath all the fun that you guys wrote.
Well, I mean, I always say, man, like, I love like Pineapple Express, Knocked Up, all that shit, like comedy stuff. But I do like how they have engines, though. Try to make sure we have some kind of engine in it.
Yeah,
this one had an engine. It wasn't just like bits on bits, you know. Yeah. Is that it? Is that episode 31?
I think that's episode 31. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Everyone follow Brandon Craggs on the internet.
Yeah. MySpace.
No.
Specifically, only on MySpace. All right.
Bye, guys. No Rewrites is produced by Adil Shamsi and Jono Hunter. Edited by Justin Stevenson. Sound designed by Aaron Harastovic. Some additional voices performed by Katie Trudeau. And the stuff in between segments was recorded by Kevin Brown. If you have an idea for a prompt, email us at norewritesPodcast@gmail.com or DM us at norewritespodcast on Instagram. No Rewrites is an independent show, so please make sure to like and subscribe and tell your friends, please. Thank you.